Gordon Ray. I've been lived here in Gilbert since 1977. Had 11 children go through the school system here, and we love Gilbert. We want to do whatever we can to keep Gilbert the way it's always been. There's a group of us right now that have been fighting against the unnecessary codes, the ICC building codes. You've probably heard a little bit about that. And the reason we've been fighting them is that there's things that are good in there, but there are many things that are useless, have nothing to do with Gilbert, and they're coming down from a group back east somewhere who know nothing about what we do and how we build. And we want to get back to where Gilbert takes care of their own building codes and can pick and choose what they like. I'm 100% against Common Core, mainly because where it comes from. Anything that comes from federal government, we know the background, we know there's an agenda, we know it's for control, and we need to get back to our individual town of Gilbert control. The mission statement of the school board says, ensure exemplary education that inspires excellence and success within every learner. Then there's a student handbook, and in that handbook it lists activities: alcohol, drugs, cheating, appearance, bullying, fighting, forgery, gambling, indecent exposure, lying, profanity, vulgarity, sexting, smoking, theft, vandalism, and it goes on and on. If we do not allow this kind of behavior in our schools, why do we allow books in our schools that talk about these things, that these things are discussed in the classrooms? What we allow to be taught in our schools today will be acted out on our streets and in our homes tomorrow. We want to let the students who want to learn about all these other things, if they want to learn about gutter life, let them learn it in the gutter and not in the Gilbert schools.
Hello, I'm Karen Palmer. I was born and raised here in Gilbert. And I have 5 children. We were actually in the Chandler School District, but it's obviously affected across all the school districts. This Common Core affects all these school districts, so I'd like to speak on it. From my limited research on this Common Core, a couple red flags went up in my mind. The first one was that it was implemented without any review or knowledge. Maybe I just wasn't keeping up with the news or anything, but I didn't know about it until my kids came home with a worksheet. I'd heard the word Common Core, didn't know what it was. Came home with a worksheet from their math teacher, said Common Core. Well, there were things on it that I wasn't sure about the process they were trying to teach. So I said, okay, where's the book? Where are you getting this from? Well, there's no book, Mom. Teachers get this off the internet or wherever they get it from. There's no book. So that kind of raised a red flag. Okay, so where are they getting this? It was confusing to the child, to my son who was in 3rd grade. He didn't understand it. It was extra work to solve a simple, as the example that was raised, 6 times 7 equals 42. Long, drawn-out, confusing process to solve that. Very unnecessary. I think just memorizing your math facts is plenty. Anyways, I was concerned about this new teaching of these simple math facts. Another concern that I had was with the math in my 5th grade daughter's class. She said the students were all confused with how they were teaching this new curriculum, and teachers were confused on how to teach it. And in fact, she says, I needed to confirm this with their school, the parent-teacher conference is tomorrow. She says that they have gone back to at least her classroom has gone back to the Saxon math that they have been learning. That's very simple and easy to understand. And so I'm just wondering what's going on. Do they have the liberty to do that? Are they forced to do the Common Core? I have no idea. And so with this, I'm going to further research this myself. The only other thing that I've researched that has raised a red flag to me was in the area of reading the literature. Came across some information that a certain book might be required reading for 11th grade, an 11th grader. This book and the information that was brought from it with all the page numbers of where it was located within the book I was appalled, I was taken back, I was disgusted. It was very pornographic in nature. It took you right into the mind of a pedophile, right into the mind of a rapist. I was angered, brought me to tears. That literature like this was thought of as inspiring, as broadening the mind. I found it very wrong. As previously said, what we see, what we allow ourselves to hear, what we allow ourselves to read, will eventually be acted out. And if we are putting this to our children, what do we expect? I am, like I said, I'm going to research this more, but this is the red flags that I came across at this common core.
Thank you. I'm so glad to speak. I would just like to say my opinion on a few simple facts. That I believe that there should always be fences. Fences make our lives freer. When we have truth that we live by, our lives become freer. When we go with every whim of doctrine that someone thinks about, that we need to try it out to see what will happen afterwards, we sometimes are lost in confusion. And there are some simple truths of freedom that I would like to read. These are from Principles of Liberty. These stand true. The role of government is to protect equal rights, not to provide equal things. Only limited and carefully defined powers should be delegated to government, all others being retained in the people. Strong local government is the keystone to preserving human freedom. A free society cannot survive as a republic without a broad program of general education. My concern is the limiting of education with a standard that's brought down to go across the board of this Common Core. And I would like to read a few ideas that have been given by Dr. Everett Piper, president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. And he said, "Ideas have consequences. Our ideas always lead somewhere. Good ideas lead good places, good behavior, and good culture, to freedom, justice, and liberty. Bad ideas lead to bad places, bad behavior, bondage, and slavery. The goal of a good education should be the pursuit of what is true and just and right and real, not the protection or propagation of what is common. The best education has never been about dumbing down the academics to a group of ideas that are agreed upon by the powerful or the popular. To the contrary, the educated person enters to the debate with an open mind, challenging the consensus rather than accepting a set of closed ideas. It's not about what everyone else thinks. Good education pursues whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable. It is about what is excellent and praiseworthy. It should encourage the learner to think about such things." And so my comment is, education should uplift our children. The reading of it should always promote something that is higher in their thinking and would elevate society. I agree strongly with what his name leaves me, Mr. Huppenthal, said that we need to memorize the facts and not just go to computers, because our mind is it's so necessary to learn it in our mind that the tendency to memorize is a powerful thing. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
President Burke and members of the Gilbert Public Schools Governing Board, my name is Harry Matthews, and I'm a taxpayer and resident in the town of Gilbert. I am here today on behalf of the people of Arizona. In a recent poll, it was indicated that 2/3 of Americans have never even heard of Common Core, nor do they realize that it constitutes, for all practical purposes, the nationalization of our education system. The 9th and 10th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution clearly forbid this. Curriculum is not within the authority of the United Nations, UNESCO, U.S. Department of Education, or the Council of Chief State Officers. We, the people of Arizona, want to work with our local school districts as an ally to stop the usurpation of local control by state and federal government. And we specifically wish to address the lack of involvement of parents and citizens on a district level in the implementation of Common Core. Therefore, I would like to present to the Gilbert Public Schools Governing Board this petition for redress of grievances related to a violation of the conditions outlined in Title 15 of the statutes of the state of Arizona relating to conditions and requirements for those engaged in the administration of our public and charter schools and to the adoption of the national education standards known as Common Core. May I approach the dais?
Yes. Thank you. Board members, will have the board secretary copy this and issue it to all board members.
Thank you for your time.